are profoundly and passionately committed to our mission of more than 80 years, which is presenting the most extraordinary dance and musical theater. It's inviting artists from around the world to share their perspectives, and it's inspiring students of all ages through education and community engagement programs. And this fall, on this very stage, we'll have the musical In the Heights by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Now, in case you don't know, that is a musical that celebrates the people and culture of Washington Heights, one of the great neighborhoods in the greatest city of the world. Now, on behalf of our dedicated staff, our community of artists, and our board of directors, we are excited to partner with Mayor Mamdani and TDF to make the arts more accessible to all, because here at City Center we believe, just like the mayor does, we cannot be the cultural capital of the world if the people cannot afford a ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Mamdani.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Should I say, oh, what a beautiful morning. It is a privilege to be here as the first mayor to have ever played Curly in an 8th grade production of Oklahoma. Aside, I want to say thank you to Sam Tuddy and the students for that incredible performance. Can we have a round of applause for that? I'm glad to know that I'm in good company and enjoying a slice of pizza for breakfast. And I want to thank every New Yorker who has worked to make the incredible art and culture of our city accessible to all. And I am so happy to be here alongside leaders both inside and outside of our city government. We have Michael Rosenberg, the President and CEO of New York City Center. Thank you again for kicking us off, for hosting this event. We have TDF Executive Director Kaisha Huguley and the members of the Cultural Institutions Group for making today's announcement possible. I want to thank all of the Coalition of Broadway Union and Guilds members here today. I want to thank my partners in government that are here with us. We have Deputy Speaker Dr. Natasha Williams, the Chair of the Committee on Cultural Affairs, Libraries, and International Relations. And we have the elected officials who are hosting us in their district. We have Assemblymember Tony Simone and the one and only Councilmember Gail Brewer. And lastly, I want to thank leaders within our administration, our Deputy Mayor for Economic Justice, Julie Sue, our Commissioner for the Department of Cultural Affairs, Dia Vij, our Chancellor of New York City Public Schools, Kumar Samuels, our Commissioner of the Department of Youth and Community Development, Sandra Escamilla Davis, and our Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, Rafael Espinal. Now, New York City has long been synonymous with the lights, music, and spectacle of Broadway. This is where the star-to-be arrives with $3, 2 bags, and the dream. And if they can make it here, they can make it anywhere. We want to keep that opportunity to dream big alive. Not just to hopeful out-of-towners, but also to those growing up right here and across these 5 boroughs. So to the students behind me and across from me who have taken some time out of their precious summer days to be here with us, I have one more request for you. Start spreading the news. I was debating whether or not to sing it, and I got intimidated by your performance. So I went with the whisper. Thank you to the Yin Yang Twins for inspiration. Beginning today, City Hall, in partnership with the Theater Development Fund, is opening a lottery of more than 2,000 free tickets for high schoolers to 7 marquee Broadway shows right here in New York, New York. This is justice for the theater kids who have watched City Hall roll out lotteries for major sporting events all summer long. I asked, why not me? If you are a high school student anywhere across the 5 boroughs, you are eligible to enter this lottery. To do so, head to on.nyc.gov/Broadway. The lottery will remain open from today through next Monday, August 17th at 10 a.m. And every single student who enters, whether or not they win, will automatically receive a free 2-month Theater Development Fund membership. This membership will give them access to significantly discounted tickets between $20 and $40 to shows, concerts, and dance performances on Broadway, off-Broadway, and across the city. And it will also grant them free admission to some of our city's most iconic cultural institutions, including Carnegie Hall, the Brooklyn Museum, the New York City Ballet, and the New York City Center where we stand today. There are so many kids growing up in our city for whom Broadway feels as if it is a world away, like something that only belongs to other people. We are together today to prove differently, to make it possible for kids from Sheepshead Bay to Morrisania, no matter how much money their parents make, to enter that different world, to experience that magical moment when the lights go down, the curtain goes up, and they're transported on the journey of a lifetime, one they will carry with them for decades to come. From the plays of ancient Greece to the public gardens of Mughal India to Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, history teaches us that the best art has always been made accessible to working people. That conviction has long lived in New York City too. In 1942, city government purchased this building in a foreclosure auction. Instead of selling it to developers, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia proposed that the city transform it into a center for music, dance, and theater for the working people who call this city home. On New York City Center's opening night in 1943, tickets were sold for just $1, as opposed to the Metropolitan Opera's average of $10 per ticket. What a time. We believe, just as Mayor LaGuardia did nearly 85 years ago, that government holds a fundamental responsibility to make people's lives better. We will do so by building new homes, by making groceries cheaper, by keeping people safe on our streets, and by making wonder and joy something that every New Yorker can know. Thank you all so much. Please join me in welcoming the Executive Director of TDF, Kaisha Huguley.
Did you know that when a group of people sit in a room together experiencing a performance, their hearts sync up and beat as one? Hi, my name is Kaisha Huguley. I'm the Executive Director of Theater Development Fund, or TDF to our friends, a nonprofit that has been championing affordability and access on Broadway and across New York City's performing arts scene for almost 60 years. Driven by a core belief that experiencing art leads to healthier individuals and stronger communities, TDF has distributed close to 70 million free and deeply discounted tickets to New Yorkers and visitors to our city. We do this through our iconic TKTS booths in Times Square and Lincoln Center, through our autism-friendly, open-captioned, and audio-described performances, and through our membership program that is open to artists and arts workers, to union members, city employees, nurses, educators, and so many more. And most importantly today, through our programs with young people. Mayor Mamdani, I think often of the stories that you have shared about being a teenager in New York and looking for fun, unique, and affordable things to do, including the arts. I've always found that to be so inspiring because those kinds of experiences are what strengthen our bond with our community and help us engage empathetically with others. They also make us joyful and therefore hopeful and courageous too. There has never been a more important time to make sure young people get access to the arts, which is their birthright as New Yorkers. And we are honored that this administration has made their joy a citywide priority. Thank you, Commissioner Vidge, Deputy Mayor Sue, and of course to you, Mayor Mamdani, for turning the spotlight on two things that TDF cares deeply about: the live performing arts and the young people of New York City. We are here today on behalf of all our colleagues in the field, from Broadway to our cultural partners, who are standing by to throw open their doors to our city's youth. And to the young people of New York City, welcome. We can't wait for you to take over our spaces. Actually, your spaces. We hope this is the beginning of a lifelong relationship with the arts. Thank you.
I
Now I'd like to introduce Deputy Mayor Julie Sue.
Thank you so much, Diksha, and the whole TDF team for making today possible. Our priorities of economic justice and affordability are deeply aligned with TDF's mission. Under our mayor, we are making sure that every lever of city government is used to make this city a place that New Yorkers can afford to live and know that they belong, where you can dream and make those dreams real. And the mayor has ensured that arts and culture were included because art is how a city dreams out loud, how we reckon with our past, imagine our future, and see our stories in that of others. And I'm joined here today by other members of the Economic Justice team, the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, Commissioner Rafael Espinal, who supports TDF's amazing programs for teens, and Commissioner Vij of the Department of Cultural Affairs. With these two champions by my side, I am proud to say that New York City is the largest municipal funder of arts in the nation. I want to reinforce something that the mayor said, that when Mayor LaGuardia opened this theater in 1943, it represented more than just a place to come and watch the opera. It represented a movement to commit the city and the country to the arts. When the country was plunged in the Great Depression, there were plenty of people who said it was not the time to support artists. They said we're in a national crisis, culture should take a back seat, that it was no time for frivolity. But FDR thought otherwise. Instead, he opened Federal Project Number 1 to support artists and musicians and playwrights. Here in New York City, murals went up in our schools, hospitals, and post offices. Concerts came to life in our parks and our theaters. Poetry flourished, photography thrived, and sleek posters infused the nation with a renewed sense of spirit. At the heart of the New Deal was a fierce belief that art is not optional, but essential. That culture is not a private luxury for the few, but a public good for all. And with today's announcement, nearly 9 decades later, we are keeping that belief alive. We know that access to the arts from a young age can open the door to a lifelong passion. And that the markers of a great and dynamic city are not just in GDP, but in performances that make you cry with empathy, in plays and novels that push the public debate, in museums that make you in awe of what our fellow humans can do, and in concerts that bring crowds to their feet. The jobs that power these sectors must also be good jobs that are accessible to everyone. From musicians to hairstylists to ticket sellers, our city's unions are doing that work every day. I recently talked to Clifford, a ticket seller, who told me that his union job that provides secure pay, predictable hours, and benefits changed his world. Good jobs change lives, and we are committed to growing them across our great city. We were proud to put a record $323 million in funding for the Department of Cultural Affairs and establish the Cultural Stability Fund to support cultural institutions facing hard times. That vision that Roosevelt championed, that LaGuardia enacted, and that New Yorkers cherished remains alive and well in our city today. These free and low-cost tickets are just one way we are investing in the young people of the city, in memories they will never forget, and in the dreams of the next generation of this city's great cultural workers and artists. And with that, I am so proud to introduce another champion of this work, Deputy Speaker Dr. Natasha Williams.
Good morning. I just want to say before I start, I'm like super excited to be on the stage because every year I come to City Center to watch Alvin Ailey. I grew up in dance school, and so I'm like, wow, the stage is so big. It doesn't look this big from the audience. So super excited to be here, and I really want to thank the mayor for his partnership and his commitment to affordability. I really think him focusing on affordability across many sectors is truly going to make our city great. Just wanted to thank my other colleagues in government, Assemblymember Simone, and of course, my colleague in the council, Gail Brewer, Executive Director Deeksha, and New York City Center's President Michael, and all the partners. I see so many of the cultural institutions in the audience. Hello, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for your partnership. So as Deputy Speaker and Chair of the City's Council on Cultural Affairs, I believe that every young New Yorker should have the opportunity to experience the incredible arts and culture our city has to offer. We call New York the cultural capital of the world. You've heard it today, but that only means something, as Michael said, if actual New Yorkers can access it. For a young person like me going to Broadway for the first time, it can be transformative. It can spark a new interest, inspire a future career. I really thought I was gonna be on Broadway. That's another story. I'm like, politics is kind of acting. Or simply create a memory that stays with them. That is why I'm so excited that this initiative goes beyond providing more than 2,000 free Broadway tickets. It also includes that free membership. Students will have continued access to affordable theater and cultural institutions throughout our city. And as someone who represents Southeast Queens, yes, I did spend a lot of time in the city, as we call it, from the outer boroughs. And I'm excited and thrilled that students will get the opportunity to come to the city. But I'm really excited that there are many institutions that are a part of this initiative, like the ones in my district. So Jamaica Center for Arts and Learning, other Queens organizations like Flushing Town Hall, the Louis Armstrong Museum, MoMA PS1, and others. So this is across the city. Our cultural institutions belong to all New Yorkers, especially our young people. So to our high school students, enter the lottery, use your membership, see a show, visit a museum, and experience everything the city has to offer. You never know what that first experience might inspire. Thank you.
Yeah.
Questions, and if you could just wait for the microphone. Does anyone have questions about today's announcement? No press questions about today's announcement? Katie? Okay, go ahead, Katie, just wait for the microphone.
I know this isn't an initial rollout of 2,000 tickets, but what are your plans for expansion? And if you want to talk a little bit more, I know there's been some writing about, I guess, the role of a lottery system with equity, which is one of your kind of core tenets. So do you want to speak a little bit more about how that is used that way, and we can experience and expect more of this, because with how many, maybe the chancellor can speak to how many theater kids there are in the city, 2,000 tickets, and unlike the World Cup, it doesn't end. So I don't know if there are plans to add more.
Theater kid, I think, is subjective. But this is but one example of what is going to be a term-long commitment to the arts, to culture, and to ensuring that every New Yorker sees themselves in arts and culture. And I think it's 2,100 tickets that are free for any high schooler across New York City, but as you've heard all of us say, anyone who applies to this lottery will then get that free membership for the next few months, and that's a membership that can really expand your sense of the city and of the world. I mean, you just heard Deputy Speaker Dr. Natasha Williams speak about the Louis Armstrong Museum. It is an incredible museum. I only saw it after I became the mayor. And this is one of the places where any high school student who applies for this lottery could now go to see for free. And that's what's so exciting, is that the arts are also a portal to a world that you never even knew existed, let alone one that you thought had room for you. And we're always going to be speaking to our deputy mayor, to our DCLA commissioner, to our MOM commissioner, to everyone who helps to lead this work inside city government and all of the partners outside, as to how we can make it easier for kids to grow up with a sense that Broadway is for them as well.
If I could ask a follow-up, I know, because I see the chancellor here. I know there have been some concerns from, as a whole, that
I guess what is your plan to increase arts funding and access, not here at the city center, but within schools all around the city, not just at specialized schools or art-specific schools, but to ensure that there is, every kid in New York City can learn an instrument, have a librarian in their library, and then also perform in a play. I don't know if the chancellor wants to hop on. He's hiding in the back. But.
No, he's coming up. He's coming up.
No, not on purpose.
I'll just underline one thing that the deputy mayor said and then pass it over to the chancellor for additional details. We were proud to work with the council to deliver more than $320 million in funding for DCLA and for arts institutions. That's a record amount of funding. And the reason we wanted to do that is even in a moment where we faced a $12 billion fiscal deficit, it is always a moment to invest in the arts. Yes. And we also created for the first time a stabilization fund for cultural institutions that were experiencing either unexpected or an emergent need, because we also know that since the pandemic, especially with the cuts from the federal government, there are a number of cultural institutions that are struggling today, and they need help to just keep their doors open. So I'll pass it over to the chancellor.
Yeah, super exciting to be here and super excited to talk about the arts, because we know that public schools play such an important role in terms of ensuring that our kids know our city. For someone like me who moved here and grew up in the Bronx, I was amazed when I came to my first Broadway experience. And we want to make sure that schools ensure that all of our students are having that experience. And so, I also have our arts director, Paul Thompson, here, who is a part of ensuring that our principals and make sure that they have the knowledge and the skills to engage with our arts residents, because that's a huge part of ensuring that every child has an experience in elementary schools. And in elementary schools art. And one of the cool things that I was talking to our folks at TDF about is ensuring that, what if we ensure that every New York City public school kid in middle school had a Broadway experience, right? That is something that we're seriously thinking about, but really ensuring that arts is a huge part of our kids' lives, and that in New York City is one of the things that we're truly committed to.
I meant in the school.
Any other questions about today's announcement? Yeah, Melissa Russo, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, how are you, Melissa?
I'm well, thank you. I'm wondering, was there a Broadway show that you saw as a kid that inspired you? For me, it was Annie at the Martin Theater. How about you?
I remember seeing In the Heights for the
Yeah.
first time and being blown away, because Broadway is something that you typically think of as a portal to another world, and yet when I went to go see In the Heights, it was a world that I knew, but to see it on stage, to see it with the depth, the fluency, the talent, the art, it was incredible. Still sometimes wake up singing 96,000. And I think that I want that experience for every New Yorker. I want them to be able to see a world they didn't know, and sometimes to be able to see themselves as well. I mean, I remember also watching Fella, the musical. That was an amazing experience, to see an African icon and his life on stage right here in Midtown. It was a beautiful thing.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Any other on-topic questions from the press? Yeah, right here.
Thanks. Mr. Mayor, it's great to see you take part in this program, the announcement for this program, and that we don't usually see somebody of your caliber standing here in front and center. So thank you for that. But I did want to ask, is this a one-time only program, or is it going to be continued in subsequent years?
This is the beginning, and what I mean by that is that we are going to keep asking the question of how we can be working together and how we can ensure that it is oriented towards all of our children. Right? Nobody loses in this lottery because everybody wins this membership. Some also win 2,100 free tickets on top of that. But whether it's this lottery or it's other ways, we are going to continue to both invest time and resources to make the arts something at the fingertips of every New York City student.
Great. Any other on-topic questions? Yes, Broadway news, right in the middle.
And before you go, if I could also invite Assemblymember Simone, Dr. Natasha Williams, and Councilmember Brewer, if they want to share what the Broadway musical was.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I grew up in blue-collar Queens of Maspeth, and I didn't even know what Broadway was. And I didn't see my first Broadway show until I was in college. And although I can't recall which was the first show, but I remember my husband now, my boyfriend at the time, Jason, saying, "You've never been to Broadway? We have to go to Broadway more." And seeing Angels in America, and seeing how it reflected something that I am, and what I grew up with, and what I saw around me, and it moved me. So I hope this program will move a child in this city to see himself or herself on stage. I also wanted to be an actor too. My father, he just recently passed away, said, "You're acting kind of right now as a politician." And I told my father, "I'm not acting. I mean what I say." He goes, "I'm just kidding with you. I love you." And I'll leave it at that. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, because this is going to be an amazing program. And I'm going to fight for funding in Albany too, to make sure every kid in this city can afford to see themselves on stage and maybe also one day act.
Mom took me to see Cats, and I remember slightly falling asleep because it's long. But I remember the costume, so I would say that was my first Broadway play. But I feel like most memorable was Lion King. Come on. After that.
Do we have Gail Brewer?
No, she left.
Oh, well, we lost her. She's off to see a play. Broadway news, please.
Thank you so much. I was encouraged when the Chancellor mentioned that there's a hopeful expansion to younger kids as well, because we know that early exposure is important. But when you speak about Broadway especially, I'm very grateful and excited to hear about all of the support for cultural institutions like City Center. Is there a plan to support a cultural institution of Broadway that is not a cultural institution, a building or organization, and to support the commercial theater that brings so many people to the city and really is of all New Yorkers?
Just to make clear, you're asking if there's a plan to support commercial theaters beyond the CIGs?
Yes.
Yeah. That's something that we'll bring back to the team. We'll have that conversation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Before we move on to off topic, we're going to take a quick group photo.
Baby, my phone's still going. Listen. God is good.
Alright, let's make sure everybody is in the shot. And please look for Mike in the tan jacket right over there. Mike raising his hand, please look for him.
Get the rest of the kids in the front. Where's the kids? Put the kids in front.
Right here, everyone. Right here, right here. Thank you. Okay.
And right here in the center. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.